I believe, am I correct in saying the longest running personality at WIBX is Ed Welch? Am I correct in that?
Yeah, once Julian Noga retired, that would be true.
That's right, yeah.
So, it's been 32 years and change.
The host of Auto Talk, along with AAA, you had announced that you're going to be retiring from the legislature, and then from AAA, and now we're finding out that you're going somewhere else.
Yes, I'm going to be the new president and CEO of the CABVI in Utica,
which I think is great for them. I think they've gained somebody that's very qualified.
I love the agency. Consider myself a very fortunate person.
You've been on the board for quite some time, right?
Yes, I've been a board member there for about 25 years,
okay.
almost 25 years, a little less than that. On the foundation board, which is the vehicles division.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure many people recognize, all the years I was kind of like the vehicles division spokesman person when I did the radio spots for vehicles division.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that agency. It's a social enterprise that employs people who are blind and visually impaired, rehabilitates people who are blind and visually impaired, and teaches them how to live independently with whatever sight they have or don't have.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say that it teaches people the value of living a purposeful life. And it's funny when it's 20 below zero, people don't call in to work there; they go to work.
Right.
And the job is so important to the people that work there, and they do it so well. And it's very inspiring. Hanging around that place, I think, would inspire anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to think it helped inspire me all these years and help them and help many others. My personal ethos, really, of helping others as a way of life, so to speak, and serving others is kind of how I've spent the last 40 years. So, growing up, my favorite author was George Plimpton. And as you know, he tried everything.
Yeah.
And as I read his books growing up, and the guy was actually a comedian. He obviously tried playing baseball. He played football. He played hockey with the Boston Bruins, and it really underscored that you can do anything you want in life, and you can live a life like a buffet if you want.
Yeah.
And do many, many things. So I've always been fortunate to be curious and wanting to do those things.
It is nice to be able to do a broad array of different things, which you have done. You have such knowledge, though, when it comes to vehicles.
I just have a good knack for remembering things.
Yeah.
I started pumping gas as a kid, and actually I worked for Joe Papandrea at Papandrea's Automotive. Joe is still there.
Really? Yeah.
And I will tell you that Joe is the smartest guy I ever met fixing cars. He has a physics degree from Syracuse University. And that was one of the other things that always inspired me. Joe was a great mentor when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I saw that physics degree hanging up on the wall, and the guy preferred to fix cars.
Right.
And I realized that you can do anything that you want to do, but you should always do what you want to do. So I've been very lucky to be able to do everything I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm a very lucky person.
And to be able to work for the association is I think means a great deal to you, because you know how much this organization does for people with vision issues.
I absolutely love the agency and its mission.
Yeah.
Like I said, I got involved with the agency 25 years ago. Actually, with former chair Ken Thayer came to see me at AAA, and he listened to me on the radio on Saturday mornings. I mean, this is kind of all tied together.
Yeah.
And they were having some issues with the vehicle supervision program, and they had some problems. They weren't sure what to do. And he listened to me on the radio, and he says, I listened to this guy on the radio. He might be able to help us. So he showed up at my office. I didn't know who he was. I knew of the agency, but I'd never been there. And I helped solve their problem. And then they invited me to the agency, and when I saw what they did there, I was just smitten by it.
Yeah.
And I've basically been there ever since.
So that's where you're going, and then the next question would be, what happens with Auto Talk, which had the beauty of Auto Talk is that it mirrored your AAA job. A lot of the data, a lot of the information, a lot of the support that you got came from AAA. So what happens next?
Well, I guess it's a brand new announcement. I've had so many announcements this year.
Yeah, you have.
It's like you guys are probably sick on reporting about me. But
it's not true.
But Saturday, the 27th, I believe, is a week from this Saturday. That'll be my final Auto Talk broadcast.
Wow.
And Then I'll also, just for programming purposes, I'll have auto quips running right through August 2nd that week.
All right, thank you.
And then I have them all written, all ready to go. So I'll record them on that morning, and you'll have them for the week. And, obviously, I want to be able to focus 100% of my attention on my new job. The agency deserves nothing less from me, and that's my plan to give it to them. But I will tell you, it's difficult and emotional for me to leave both AAA and to leave here. My radio family and my AAA family means a lot to me.
32 years on the radio. How many programs?
Over 1,600.
Wow.
At least I can calculate them.
Oh my goodness!
And of course, Bill, you've done that many in 5 years. I mean,
I've done a few programs over the years.
So I mean, you guys, and that's that's one of the things I love the job of coming here, but you guys make a living at this, and it's a difficult business to make a living at.
It is,
and I fortunately never had to do that. I basically it was a hobby thing for me,
right.
and I just had a passion for it. But that's why I had nothing but respect and love for everybody in this business. It is a hard business. People don't realize how difficult this business is. And I tell people, I remember my first day on the radio. I was invited up here as a guest from Tom Coyne when we had the old Talk of Central New York, and he was looking for some winter car care tips. Winter was coming, and make a long story short, they called me at AAA, and I came up here. Well, up to the old studio on Clarks Mills Road. Yeah. And I was just a guest for a few minutes on the show, and but he announced that I was going to come on and talk about car stuff. And the phone board lit up. We took questions, and none of them were screened. I just kept answering them as people were calling. And they invited me back up in a couple of weeks, and I did it again. Then a week or two after that, I got a call from Tom Yurchak, who was the general manager here at the time, and he wanted to go have lunch. So I said, sure. So I went to lunch with Tom and Tom.
And you're at AAA at this time.
I'm AAA, yes. And they asked me if I'd like to have my own radio show, and I was, I said, why would I want to do that?
Yeah.
but make a long story short, we started out, and I came up here, and it was Saturdays from noon till 2. So you want to talk about the doldrums of summer, and Danny Klingscale actually trained me to run the board.
Okay.
And Jim Jackson, and John
Two guys
Swan.
that have gone on.
And John Swan.
Yeah, John, who was with Community Foundation now.
And, of course, Lou Santa Croce was with the station at that time. And make a long story short, they told me the worst thing that could ever happen is dead air. So I had to learn to continually talk without stopping, regardless of whether the phone rang or not. Good news is that came easily for me.
Yeah.
So,
I'm glad you said it, Ed.
Well, you have to in a job like that. You have to be able to do that.
Well, dead air, as we know, dead air is
brutal.
verboten,
Yes.
right? So
you just can't stop.
There is a deafening sound when you oversee a radio station, and there's
so
nothing more deafening than silence.
No, so what I would do is I would and I read 17, 18 automotive journals and magazines a month and books, plus my online stuff. So I always made sure I had like 10 things to talk about, just in case I didn't get a call. Out of fear I wouldn't get a call. So that's kind of how it started. And like I said, I had the absolute pleasure working with some of the greatest legends of this business locally here, and those are great guys at the time.
Yeah.
I think one of my other favorite stories is the I always wanted to call a baseball game.
Mm-hmm.
So we were covering the Blue Sox, and it was Jim Jackson and Danny Klingscale covering the games.
Yeah, which was a really good broadcast.
Oh, yeah. So they said, Ed, come on down to the game. You can call an inning.
Mm-hmm.
So I was up. I practiced. I studied the team and all their stats and everything. Yeah. And I did it. And when I was done with it, I was exhausted. I never realized how hard that was until I did it. And I never did it again. I just wanted to try it. And like I said, in my George Plimpton kind of thought process, I go, I want to try that.
Yeah.
So what I was blessed that they've always gave me opportunities like that, and I've been blessed in life to have a lot of opportunities to do different things.
Yeah.
I just want to highlight something you said when you talk about the preparation and the stuff that you read. And most Saturdays, Davey, our man in the other room there, is the guy who's behind the board and screening your phone calls.
Davey's the absolute best.
Sometimes I will pinch hit here for Davey if he's got something going on the weekends. And you come in Rush recently talked about this. People were asking him, how much show prep do you do and how much do you have? And he was saying he had like 300 pages of paper every day for the show, and 90% of it he doesn't get to. But you'll come in with a stack and topics and where am I going to go here and there, and you've mapped out the whole show for a worst-case scenario. You don't get a phone call. And every week you get a call about this, you get a call about this, and you're very patient. And you take your time to explain to the listener what the problem is, where they should go, how they should handle it. And more than half, probably 75% of the stuff that you've prepped every week, you can't get to. Correct. And it's just people don't understand how much goes into it and what you need to be prepared for. And every week, man, you come in and we're going to get to this and this, and then you got this stack of paperwork, and most of it you just don't have time to get to.
No, I
but if you need it, you need it.
Correct.
So
what I do is I read things and I think that, well, people might find this interesting.
Yeah.
I put it aside, and then I'll do more research on it, and I'll prepare the stack of stuff. And I think that's what Rush calls
the
it.
stack of stuff.
But I've always called it that. And then I map out everything, and usually on Saturday mornings I'm up at I get up about 4:30 every day, anyways. And I prepare everything before I finalize, because sometimes I change my mind what I want to talk about.
Well, things
sometimes
change
the
in the
sometimes
news.
the news drives it.
Yeah.
And then basically that's what I do. And when I walk in the door here, though, I'm set. I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And then I just sharpen.
He's got great outro music too.
Yeah, and you and you really have to be prepared to have everything fall to pieces and know that you know what's coming next, and then the thing after that, and the thing after that, because otherwise there's a lot of pauses in between. You can't have that.
And some of my music, I tried to find obscure stuff from the 70s that I loved when I was a kid, like Airport by the Motors. Nobody knows that song.
Right.
It's a great song. Or a band called Lake that was from West Germany. They played Time Bomb. These are things I brought in because people never hear that stuff.
Yeah.
So I always try to do something that nobody will normally see or hear.
Well, after 32 years and 1,600 plus programs, you will be greatly missed. I don't know how we fill that void. As a matter of fact, I think that the people for instance, in the 8 o'clock hour, have no idea what we're talking about when we talk about AutoQuip. And it'd be my suggestion, if we've saved all of those AutoQuips, they always run at like 6:08. Maybe for a year we're running them at 8:08 because a whole new audience would get to experience this. I love your AutoQuips.
Well, thank you.
I love them.
We've written over 500 of them now.
Yeah, wow.
And I've got them all written, obviously all the scripts, and I put them all in order. Joe Kelly once told me, he goes, "Ed, you should take them all and write a book."
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Who knows? Maybe I will. But
a great table book, coffee table book.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if anybody they'd be interested in it, but
yeah.
But a lot of the automotive newsy stuff that I put in there, because it's kind of chronological what happens in the automotive industry during the course of the year, as well as our normal tips. I will tell you that, and again, I could say this to you guys, and we're among friends, right?
Yeah.
I obviously WIBX can continue, until you have your programming sorted out. Keep running whatever stuff you got on me. I don't care. I mean, it's fine. You can play the best of until you're sick of it, and certainly if you want to keep running the AutoQuips, they're all in the vault. So
I think they're entertaining and they're informative, and that's all good. I think that's a positive, and that's the goal of that we all try to do. If you can entertain and inform, you've accomplished your goal.
That's really the job when you're on the radio.
Yeah,
the TV has a great advantage, and I've done a lot of TV work over the years as well. I did. Every Wednesday spot with Dick Lawler up on KTV for 10 years. That was a 5 a.m. slot. And a lot more, on Saturday mornings, I can just keep my ball cap on
That's
my
right.
T-shirt.
Yeah, you don't have to worry.
I can't do that on TV, but the radio is a theater of the mind. You have to paint a picture for people to see. Otherwise, it's not entertaining, and it's not what I consider people get a lot out of it. So that's the trick really about the business.
Michael would like to say congratulations on your next journey and your next phase of your journey, and says he's very impressed with your Mod Squad knowledge. So there you go.
Yeah, I know a lot of useless stuff.
Yeah, Ed Welch, congratulations, best wishes. It's very sad for us. I'm sure it is for you as well. But congratulations on this next step. I'm sure this is not the last time we'll have you on this program now.
Probably not.
Yep.
And I guess obviously when you call the CABVI, you can ask for me now.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I may still need you to talk gas prices on a Monday morning, though.
Yeah. Ed, I'm going to miss you so much, man.
Yeah,
really.
seriously.
You're
Jeff,
awesome.
I remember when you were here when you were in high school. I mean, you go way back, and you guys, like I said, you're my part of my family, my extended family. I don't have any living relatives in Utica, so really, my extended family and the places I work and the places that I help people and things.
Yeah.
I consider the community of my family and all of you. So that's probably one of the reasons why I enjoy it so much is because I think everyone likes being around their family.
Yeah.
To say what you did here and how you did it, really how you did it, and the care that you put in passes inspection is just an absolute understatement.
Well, WIBX has high standards, and I always felt that I could never show up not without my A game. And I kind of approach everything I do that way because I think if you're going to do something, do it well.
Yeah.
And I've always, I'm not going to say I'm good at this. I'll leave that for others to say, but I always came in to do my best. And that's what I've tried to give the listeners every week that I've been here. And, the listeners really are the reason I stayed. If no one listened to me, you guys would have ditched me a long time ago.
Davey, you want to add something? You look like you want to add something.
I'm just going to say it was a pleasure working with you too, Ed.
Pleasure working with you, too. So.
Yeah, Davey is really the glue that holds this place together.
Yeah.
You guys well know. He's not on air very often, and he does all the background work, all the engineering, the producing, making sure that the trains run on time, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because in the radio business, as maybe the listeners don't know, everything's timed to the second. And, it takes a lot of dedication and coordination to make that happen every day, 24/7 in a place like this, and the other radio stations.
Yeah, right.
Because Davey helps in pitch hits in the other places, too. So Davey's an amazing talent, and I don't think many people realize how much he does here. I know you guys do. I don't think the public has any idea.
32 years, over 1,600 programs, and at the end of the month, that will be it. Ed Welch, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you having me up here today.
All right.